Hey everybody, welcome back to Susan Lynn Psychic Medium. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I want to give a big shout out to all of you new viewers and new subscribers. And I want to say that I'm so grateful for you joining me today. Thank you. We are building a beautiful community, aren't we, online with all of the various readers, all of us creating space for this beautiful awakening that we're all experiencing. So thank you for coming. Thank you to my returning subscribers. I really appreciate you very much. So we're going to get started. Our topic today is how to talk to your spirit guides. Are they listening? Maybe yours talk too much. Maybe they don't talk enough. I don't know. We're going to find out. And I also want to say to those new people that are maybe just tuning in for the first time, I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. I get my information straight from my spirit guides. Usually as I'm doing these videos, I am basically light trance channeling this message for you. So it just works out better like that. Sometimes I personally feel like I'm rambling because I'm not aware of what I just said. So, but hopefully this is going to be very succinct and on the money, and it's really going to help you, because that's why I do these videos, is to help you, for us all to be better versions of ourselves, to be happier, to be more fulfilled, to be able to make better choices, maybe follow our soul path, our higher path easier and better, right? That's the whole point of these videos, and especially this video. So how do you know? Okay, how do you know if you have spirit guides? Well, I'm telling you, you have spirit guides. We all have spirit guides. We're born with spirit guides. They are our guides for life, ride or die, right beside us, right? We also have angels that are in our lives, and we also have, of course, support from our crossed over loved ones. Okay, so that's basically three kinds of energies. There's more. There's other energies as well. You might be one of these people that has a connection to Pleiadian energy, or Sirius, the dog star, or some energy that might feel galactic, right? You might have that kind of guidance as well. So there's lots of opportunities to have guidance here. And each of those guides, each of those different types of energy play a different role. This is what they're telling me right now. They all have their own different roles. But right now, I'm mainly going to talk about spirit guides, okay? Spirit guides. So you do have them. How many do you have? You could have 5, you could have 10, but really and truly, when you get to have too many spirit guides, it's just too complicated. You would have to be someone who's very what's the word? You would have to be pretty far along ascension wise. You would have to be pretty evolved personality to be able to handle input from 10 or 20 guides. I mean, do you want 10 or 20 bosses? They're not really bosses, but you really don't want that. It's too confusing. So really what I feel is we have 1 or 2 that work mainly with us. Okay, now if you like extra credit, you're a grade A student, then you can take those 2 spirit guides, and then you can use and work with them, and stay in contact with them and get that guidance. And then let's say you're going to switch career changes, or you're maybe deciding to move across the country, or maybe you're putting an addition on your house. It doesn't matter. You can actually ask for guidance for that specific thing that's happening in your life. You can actually call up a guide that is really good at construction. Help me with these construction people. Help me communicate clearly. Help them communicate clearly to me. Help us all be our highest self. Help us all be honest and forthright, and help us all create the best possible construction that we can, right? So that's blessing that construction project, plus you're asking for a little extra help, right? So no problem, no harm, no foul in doing that, not a problem. Your guides that are with you are more with you they're showing me things, sorry, to help guide you. Okay, that's really interesting that they showed me that. Okay, so how do so I'm telling you that you do have guides. The other question usually is, how do I meet them? What are their names? Those kinds of questions, right? How do you meet them? Well, this is going to take up the majority of this video, is how do you meet them? Okay, obviously, your spirit guides are really highly evolved. Their energy, their vibration is much higher than human vibration. Even the highest human you can imagine, whatever that is for you, that human still doesn't match exactly the vibration of a spirit guide. Okay, spirit guides really operate from their heart, from true love. From true love. There's no malice, there's no manipulation, there's no other things that go on there. It's just this beautiful love. So how you connect with them is through your heart. So we have to make room, right? We have to make room in our thinking and our brain to allow things to get to our heart. The first problem is that we think too much. We fill our brains all day long at work. We fill our brains maybe with learning. Maybe you're the kind of person that loves to learn, so you're constantly reading books or listening to books on Audible. Maybe you're the kind of person that loves to watch TV. Maybe you love to play games, whatever. So if your brain is constantly involved, it's going to be hard for them to get through a message, because where we receive our messages is in our thoughts, our brain, right? So we need to make some space. That's the first thing. How do you make space? You meditate. Meditating is fantastic for making space. It actually can heal you. It can make you feel better. It can raise your vibration. And honestly, I think meditating is a lot like medicine, in that you take the medicine when you're feeling bad, and then when you're feeling good, you're like, I don't need that medicine anymore, right? So when we're really feeling down or whatever, we turn to meditation to help us maybe prop up our vibration or make us feel better. But as soon as we start feeling better, we get busy, then meditation goes out the door. So meditation is super important. Even if you use meditation for a short period of time to just raise your vibration, and then you don't do it as much, you still, for the most part, raise your vibration. As long as you stay up there, you're going to be good. So why we do meditation is to raise our vibration. We raise our vibration so that we can get closer to our spirit guides and give them space to come in. Now, some people meditate when they're jogging. Some people meditate. I often meditate when I'm walking. You can meditate when you're biking. You can meditate when you're painting a room. Just that constant, monotonous movement is a great way to meditate. Constant monotonous movement is also jogging, right? So if you're doing a hobby, let's say you're knitting, you're knitting. That's just the same repetitive motion where your mind can wander, right? Then that's when these little insights come in. Okay, so however you want to create that space for them is fine. Gardening, there's many ways that you can do this. There's just probably thousands. You find the one that works for you and do that. Create that space for them to come in. Okay, and this thing that you're doing should relax you. It's sailing maybe, or riding a motorcycle, whatever it is that's just relaxing. Okay, it makes you happy. You're relaxed. Okay, that's the perfect environment for your guides to come in. Now, why meditating works better than, say, when you're sailing, because when you're sailing, you're still, trying to keep the boat afloat, right? But when you're meditating and you're sitting at home, you're not at risk of running off the road on your motorcycle. Okay, so you're going to do better about when you're riding your motorcycle, you might get an insight. You might get a brilliant insight. You may get a solution to a problem, right? But it's going to come in kind of out of left field. If you're intentional and you meditate with the intention of, I want to connect to my spirit guides because I would like guidance. There it is. That's different. That's intentional. So you sit down, maybe you pull up a how to connect to your spirit guides on YouTube, guided meditation. Listen to that. Practice communicating with them. Practice connecting with them. Practice feeling that kind of, I feel so calm and relaxed, and now I see my guides, and now I'm talking to them. Practice that, right? That's intentional. Okay, so let's say that now that you've gotten to a place where you feel like You've done that and you're ready to start talking to your guides. You're ready to get information or communication with them. It's really funny because I went through this whole thing myself and a few years ago, and I got to this point on these guided meditations where I was meeting my guide, and I was so excited. And here he comes, and I'm like, oh my God, he looks like Gandalf. He looks like a wizard. That's cool. So he sits across the table from me, and his mouth is moving, but nothing's coming out. I can't hear anything. I'm like, wait, what's, I turned the volume up or something, it's like, why can't I hear him? So then that kind of can put you back in the mental space. Why can't I hear him? What's wrong with me? Right? Instead, if that's something like that happens to you, take a deep breath, right? Calm down. Don't go up here. This is not going to be helpful to engage your ego mind. It's not going to be helpful. Calm down. And you're seeing his mouth move and nothing's coming out. Or you're seeing her mouth move and nothing's coming out. I want you to do this. Just sit there and look at her. Sit there and look at him. Take in every detail. What color are their hair? What are they wearing? Look at their skin. Is it wrinkled or is it smooth, right? How are they sitting? Are they leaning back? Are they leaning forward? Take in everything about them. Even if they're not talking, I want you to just take in every single thing about them. Notice everything. Open your heart to them, right? So many times we're sitting there with someone and we're not breathing. You're not breathing. Breathe, right? Because you're worried or you're in suspension. What are they going to say? Oh my God, here I am. I forgot to breathe, right? Breathe. Open your heart. Send that guide love. Send them love. Look at them with love. Look at them with happiness. Send them this feeling of just open-hearted love. And just be with them. Just soak in their wisdom. Okay? Because what's happened is, because you saw their mouth moving, you expected to hear what they were saying like they were human. But the truth of the matter is, they were sending you communication maybe through thoughts or pictures, but you weren't paying attention to that because visually you saw their mouth move. So you were looking for a different kind of communication, right? So that's why when you meet your spirit guide, you just need to relax and then ask them, how will you communicate with me? What is the best way for you to communicate with me? And if you might see a picture, you might get a thought picture, right? You might hear the words picture, right? So even though they're saying picture, they might communicate that picture to you in a different way, right? So then okay, so they're going to send me pictures. Okay, so now I'm seeing pictures. Okay, great. Pictures is good for me. I like that. Communicate back. Thank you. I like communicating with you in pictures. Okay, now you could say, what do you have to tell me? But that's also like asking Google, what do you have to tell me? You're going to get 5 zillion responses. And probably most of it you don't really care about. Let's face it. You want to talk to your spirit guides because you want information that you feel is going to help you. Maybe you have a question about your job. So if you say, gosh, can you tell me about my job? And then what if they send you a feeling of calm? You feel calm. Okay, calm. I just feel calm. That's not an answer. Is that my answer? My answer is I feel calm, right? Maybe that is your answer. Maybe your answer is to calm down about thoughts around your job, right? Maybe being more relaxed and calm at work would make work better, make it feel better. Maybe you would do better. Maybe that is your answer, okay? So take that. Okay, I feel calm. First you have to notice, right? Okay, I feel calm. Okay, I feel calm. Thank you. Thank you for that. I feel calm. Okay. Should I change my job right now? If you don't get an answer, it means that if you take that in consideration with the fact that they just made you feel calm, then that's probably like, wait, right? There's nothing you need to do right now. Wait, be calm, right? So you can see how that can come together to actually form an answer. You might not get the answer of, yeah, this is Joe, you should go work at IBM. That might not come through for you, right? That it may not, right? You may hear a big booming voice to tell you what to do, but you may not. Okay, so you have to be open to all the different ways that they can communicate with you, and you have to understand that they're guides. They're not necessarily going to give you every answer. They're not, because we have to learn our lessons. We have to make our own way, right? So they're here to help us. They're here to guide us, but they're not going to tell you everything, right? So you're watching your guide. You're looking at your guide. You're grateful for your guide, okay? If your guide starts to disappear, then you just say, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to meet you. Thank you for being my guide. Thank you for being my guide. I love you. And then release, okay? Release. Maybe next time you'll learn more, you'll heal more, you'll feel more, whatever it is, right? That goes to my next thing. You can't just do this once. It's a muscle. If you go to the gym one time, you're not in shape. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like that. You have to go to the gym several times, maybe over the course of months, right? Before you're in shape. So you have to make a commitment to this. If you really want to have connection to your guides and have a clean, clear, very connected connection, then you have to work at that. You have to show them that you're going to do this. Maybe you're going to do this once a day for a week for 5 weeks, right? Maybe you're going to do it every other day. Maybe you're going to do it every morning. Whatever works for you, continue it, okay? Continue it. So another way to connect with your guides is through oracle cards. These things really work. They really, really work. You can ask, and oracle cards are a little different than tarot cards. For those of you that don't know this, oracle cards, you ask the oracle. This particular oracle card is called Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. Okay, it comes with cards and it comes with a book. The book explains the cards. So when you pull a card, whatever card this is, the card that I've pulled is a change in the wind. A change in the wind. Well, I think you and I can pretty much guess what this card is about. Change is happening, right? Why do we ask our guides? Often because we feel change is coming. We're unsure about what decision to make. So we ask for their opinion. So you pull a card every day. What's my card for today? What do I need to know? A change is coming. Okay? Oh, okay, cool. Great. I thought a change was coming. I'm pretty sure a change is coming. Okay, great. Now, you can go and ask for more information if you want, right? So maybe in your world, you think the change is in your job. What is the job? What do I need to know about my job? Pull one card. What do I need to know about my job? Here's the card I got. Loyal heart. For me, my job, loyal heart, right? What does that mean? You can look at this card and you can come up with your own idea of what this means, right? Respect each other, compromise, love, give and take, right? So maybe that means if I'm going to get a job change, it means that I need to look for a job where I'm respected, right? Where they're loyal to me and I'm loyal to them, right? Where there's equal energy. Okay, so you can also pull these cards. You can do 3 card spreads, and you can say what's the past, what's the present, and what's the future. Past, present, and future. 3 card spread. So you can pull 3 cards, past, present, future, and it'll give you that information, right? Okay, so this is how you can start doing this. You can start pulling cards. You can get some really cool journals. I highly suggest that you use journals because if you just pull a card and you're not going to remember anything about why you pulled that card or if you pulled that card. But if you keep a journal, you can go back to the very beginning if you're doing 30 days, and then it starts to tell you a whole story. And that whole story is going to make a lot of sense. It might surprise you, to be honest with you, how much guidance you got from pulling these cards, right? But if you don't do the journal, you're not going to be able to put all that together. You're not going to piece it all together because it's just too disparate. You're going to forget. Okay? So this is a good way to also connect with your guides. And you can do all of the above. You can do the meditation. You can do the oracle cards. You can do it all. Okay? Guides also appear messages. You get messages. I talked in my last video about repeating numbers. Repeating numbers are messages from your guides. We're here. We're here. We're with you. We're with you. Pay attention to us. Check in. Call home. Call ET. Right? So that's going on. I want to go back and talk about something else that was really, two other things that was really interesting to me. When I first started this video, they showed me, this is why they want me to talk about it. They showed me, I mentioned that when I connected with my spirit guide, he looked like Gandalf, right? To me. Sometimes they look like normal people. Sometimes they look Egyptian, whatever. Mine looks like Gandalf. So, he looks like an older guy with long white hair. He looks like basically kind of like a wizard, right? And the funniest thing started happening to me. I started seeing this guy around town. And here's the thing. He was always often riding a bicycle or a motorcycle. And a motorcycle is something that I've always wanted and I never allowed myself to do because I'm very practical. And then I was worried about the safety, and it's silly, but it is what it is, right? So I would be at an intersection, and here's this old skinny dude with long hair that looks just like my guide on a motorcycle, just sitting there. I'm like, that looks like my guide right there. And the first time it happened, I was like, wow, old dude riding a motorcycle, cool, right? And then it happened like once a week it would happen. I would see this guy. Now, I wouldn't see the same guy. This is the tricky part, right? I'd see a different guy riding a different motorcycle. They all looked the same. They all had the beard. They all white dudes. They all had the long white hair. They were all thin. Riding a different motorcycle, going a different direction. Riding a bicycle. And then one of the most interesting things that happened to me with this guy, two very interesting things that happened to me with this guy, is that I moved my house to a new town, and I'm a professional photographer, and light is everything for us, right? I mean, we need beautiful scenery and beautiful light to create beautiful photos. So I left this place that I rented that had just the most amazing light ever, and most people couldn't see it, but when you photographed it, it became magical. This yard, right? But it was leased, and my lease was up, blah, blah, blah. I bought a house with a half an acre thinking, this is going to be great. I'm going to photograph out here. It's going to be fantastic. Y'all, the light was terrible. It was terrible. It was like me doing 5 rounds with Muhammad Ali every time I went into that backyard. Like the light was too bright, shadows. It was terrible. It was terrible. So here I am, thinking, oh my God, I wish I had that old yard back. It was fantastic, right? And I'm pumping gas. I'm at the gas station. And I'm in my new town. I don't really know much about this town. I mean, a little bit, but I really don't. I've never lived there before, right? So it's a small town. I'm pumping gas. Here goes this guy walking by me. Looks just like my spirit guide. Just like him. He's got the long hair. He's got the beard. Tall, long legs, and he's just booking it. He's walking, and he's walking down. The gas station I was at was on a major road, and then of course there was a little side road that went somewhere, wherever it went. I pulled in from the major road. He's walking down this side road, and I'm like looking at him. I'm sure I look crazy because I was like, staring at him as he went by, pumping my gas. And so I finished pumping my gas. Got in my truck, turned around, Guy's gone. Is gone. Poof, gone. I'm like, okay, well, he was walking down this road, so I'm going to follow this road. I'm going to follow this guy. I got him now, right? So I get in my truck and I go down the road. I can't find him. He's gone. So I make a left. Can't find him. Go down that road. I can't find him. I'm like, he's walking. I mean, where could he have gone? I guess these were all houses everywhere, right? It's in a neighborhood. So then I think, well, I need to turn around. So I had turned left, so I turned right. Well, when I turn right, there's a park. There's a park in the middle of this neighborhood on this beautiful little bayou piece of water. I mean, it's like, you're like walking around going, how is this here? What is this? How is this here? You guys, that was the most beautiful park I have ever photographed at. I made magic happen. The sun was set behind the trees on the water. The trees would light up like stained glass. I'm telling you, it was amazing. And I would tell people who had lived in that town, meet me at this park. They're like, well, I've lived here 50 years. I don't know anything about that park. I'm like, well, welcome to my world. I just found it, But this spirit guide showed me. He showed me where that park is. I have no doubt. I'm completely convinced this guy led me to that park. Absolutely led me to this park. So I am so grateful to him, right? So listen, your spirit guide could come alive and you could see them in your life, and they could be the person who's your waitress who just smiles at you and makes you feel better after a bad day, right? It could be the person that pulls over to help you with your tire on your truck. That person could embody that person to help. Your spirit guide can embody that person. So I have to tell you this other story. This is really mind-blowing, like really, really mind-blowing. And I know they have a technical name for this, but I don't know what it is. Some of you guys know that I lost my best friend. She committed suicide when we were both in our 40s. She was in her late 40s. And anyway, after that happened, of course, as you might imagine, I was a train wreck. And for me, what I find that I do when I'm going through a rough patch in my life is I have to go to nature. I have to find trees. I have to find a trail. I have to be in nature. And being in Houston, there's not a lot of nature, right? So I found this little, it's kind of a nature preserve kind of place. And I started every Sunday, I would walk those trails without fail for a year. I walked those trails every Sunday. And really weird things happened. But one of the weirdest things that happened was not too long after, I mean, maybe a month after she was crossed over, I was on that trail, and this trail goes in and out. You have views of a bayou. For you guys that don't, that's like a muddy stream. It's like a lake kind of, but it's like a river, lake, pond, all made together. It doesn't flow like a river. But anyway, but the trail would stop and you could see the water and whatever. So I stopped at the trail and I was with a friend. We both knew this friend of mine that passed over. And we were sitting on this bench, okay? And at the same time we were sitting at the bench, I saw, to this day, I saw for real a guy that was an old guy. He had the hair, he had the beard. This was the first time I had ever seen him, I want to say. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. This is the first time I ever saw him. Wow. And he looked like he was a fisherman. He had on like hip waders, right? And he had on maybe he had a rod, I don't know. And he was across the water. To me, he was maybe 50 yards away, okay? And this guy started walking into the water. Now, these bayous are full of alligators. So you don't typically walk in this water. At least I don't. And he started walking in the water, and he got deeper and deeper and deeper, and I was freaking out. I was like, grab my friend. I'm like, look at that guy. Well, when I go to grab my friend, guess what was happening with her? Fire ants. If you're not from down south, we have fire ants. They are fire, and they are ants, and they swarm you. It's not like one bites you, 500 bite you. She is jumping around and hitting her legs and going crazy and screaming. And I'm like, instantly, I'm so sorry, because, my empath thing kicked in. But then I looked back and I'm like, but this guy is going to drown. I mean, he can't walk in this water. We got to go get him. We have to go get him. He's in the water. I mean, I don't know what happened. Why would he do that? I mean, I was freaking out. I put her fire out, get all the ants off, and I made this girl walk. I don't know, for an hour. We walked, trying to find this man. We kept taking every trail to go where he was. We never found him. I don't think he was real. I think I saw him. I think I think he was real, but I was the only person who was meant to see him, because at that time my friend got fire ant attacked, right? She didn't see him, but he disappeared. Basically, he disappeared. So this spirit guide of mine, came to me. Why he walked in the water, I don't know. Why he had fishing gear on, I don't know. I mean, I like to fish and I love waters. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe he was just to get my attention, to say, I'm with you, right? I'm here with you, because I'm telling you, I was deep in grief. I was really deep in grief. And when you're in deep in grief, you can't connect. You can't connect with nothing. It's a block. It's very hard it would be hard for my friend to connect with me. It would be hard for anybody spiritual on the other side, be they guide or whatever, to connect with you at that time. But this guy literally became real. And so that's interesting that was the first time I saw him. And then I think a year later is when he started showing up on a motorcycle. My friend rode a motorcycle, right? She actually left me her motorcycle. And I did ride it a little bit, but it needed a lot of work, and it was a long story. So I ended up actually donating it, but I intended to buy one. But how interesting, right? And that's just really interesting to me. So they want to show you that your guides can actually take human form, physical form, sometimes to, get your attention, to help you, right? They'll do whatever they can to help you. That's the message here. And then the last time I've seen this particular guide wasn't when he showed me where that park was, that park happened about 3 years after my friend passed, 3 years later. I kind of see this guy, but very rarely now, very rarely. And I wonder, to be honest with you guys, if it's location, like does he show up when I'm in the right location, right? Like, am I, you know what I mean? In certain towns, I see him more often, is what I'm trying to say. So that's interesting too, right? So anyway, I didn't mean to go all the way off on that tangent, but that's fascinating for me to share that with you, because I think you guys can see your spirit guides too, whether it's through a meditation or whether maybe they actually show up in your life in some way, right? You just see somebody and you think, wow, that looks like my spirit guide. Or you see them and they don't look like your spirit guide, but they feel vibrationally like your spirit guide. Like you just think, wow. Like I'm telling you, we've met people we thought were angels. All of us have. We've met people like, I'm pretty sure that was an angel that came and helped me, right? Same thing. It's the same thing. So ask for guidance, create space for them to come in. Trust what they say. I'll just talk about this briefly. I get thoughts dropped into my head. I know that it's them because, oh, right, thank you. That's what they just reminded me. Because when they talk to me, it's not something that I would say to myself, right? So if I'm sitting on the couch and I'm chilling out and I get this thought to get up and take the dogs for a 2-mile walk, that's not me. That didn't happen because I'm happy on the couch, right? So if you get a thought to get up and go take a walk, or you get a thought to, a lot of times I like to say, oh, I had this really crazy idea to go do this, and I did, and it was awesome. Well, crazy ideas are your guides, right? Or I had a notion. Sometimes we'll say, I had a notion to go do this, and it was really interesting. I enjoyed myself. Notion, your guides. I want to talk about 2 situations just very recently that happened with me to explain to you how they can talk to you, how to discern when it's them, and also to tell you that it's really hard for them to come through. When I'm talking to you, even when I'm doing this video, I am stepped to the side and I'm just letting them kind of flow through. Okay, when I do readings, I'm really to the side and they're flowing through completely. Susan has nothing to do with any of that. Right now, it's a very light channel that I'm doing, so they're able to guide my thoughts and guide my words to a degree. Okay, but it is very hard because listen to this thing. So a few days ago, I was in the truck, and I was going someplace, and the road that I was on is not my favorite road. It's got a lot of lights. It's got a lot of traffic. I don't like traffic. So I was thinking to myself, and I'm very familiar with this route, right? I'm thinking to myself, when I get to the red light, if I can just turn right, there's a parallel road that goes to where I'm going, and it's a straight shot. There's like literally not very many red lights, and it's quick, and it's my preferred route. Okay. Now, for some reason, I'm one car behind the red light. For some reason, I'm wanting to stay on the road that I'm on, which is weird. So I'm kind of arguing with myself, right? I'm saying, I don't want to stay on this road. I want to go to the other road because the other road's faster. But when I think about staying where I'm at, I feel calm. I have this, which is weird because I don't like this road. So I don't know why I feel calm. I'm like, I don't know why I feel calm. I don't like this road. So I'm overriding, right? See what I'm doing? I'm overriding. So then I'm thinking the light turns green. We're going forward, and I'm going to turn right to go to this faster route. And then all of a sudden, and I mean, it's a flash. It's just a flash. Barely caught it. I see a train blocking the road. Now, the road I was going to take is very fast, but maybe 1 out of 10 times you catch a train. When you catch a train, you're going to be there for 5 minutes, and to double back is really long because there's no roads that connect it. So you're just going to sit through it. You're just going to be stuck. So they flashed that. Before I got to the red light, the green light, I could have gone straight or I could turn right. They flashed the train. I didn't catch it. I'm still thinking in my head, I know better. I turn right. I go to that road. Whoo! Cruise on down that road. No red lights until I ran into the train. And then I said, they told me that. You know what I mean? I saw that. You know what I mean? Like, darn it. I didn't listen to them. They showed me. They tried. They went battle to battle with Susan's hard-headed, super, busy brain, and they lost. They lost. And I won. And guess who lost in the end? Me. Dissect that, right? Dissect that. Slow things down. You're sitting at a red light. You got time to think about it. Okay, I feel pretty good on this road. I like this road now. I like this road. I should have known that was the first clue. I like this road. I don't like this road. I never liked this road. I don't like this road. I'm thinking, how do I feel? And I'm feeling something. I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling like I like this road. Okay, that's interesting. I don't like this road, right? Okay. Then, light turns green, boom, they flash, just like that, flash, that train. Did I catch it? No, I didn't catch it. I'm turning right, going, okay. Slow down. You have to slow this down because they can't hardly get it in. They can't hardly get the message in, okay. So now, when that happens, I can go back and think about, well, okay, yeah, I did feel kind of something. And now I can hopefully, next time I feel something, I can go, oh, that's that feeling, right? It's about retraining yourself. It's almost like biofeedback. When I feel this, that's my guides. Oh, okay. Flash. Oh, that's my guides, right? It's hard. The hardest thing to do is to get your own guides, connection, and information. the hardest thing to do, because you have to fight this mental, brain up here. Okay? Again, when I'm doing readings, no problem. Brain goes to the side, information flows through. But when it's for me, oh no, I've got a big brain up here that wants to question everything, that wants to challenge everything, right? That can't be right. Doesn't feel right. That's not what I always do. I don't do that. That's another way it's your guides. When you have an idea to do something different, that should be your first clue. This isn't me. You know what I mean? This is not something I would normally do. So, it doesn't mean you have to always do that. That's not really true either. But you do need to take it into consideration. You need to take it into consideration. I could have taken it into consideration about that. I feel good. Maybe I'll just stay on this road, see what happens, right? Right? So the problem is that if I would have stayed on that road and hit 5 red lights, I would have been wondering what would have happened had I taken the other route, right? So that's kind of what happens to us. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy at all. It's not easy when you do it for yourself, okay? So number 1 and number 2, they don't want to give you all the answers. Like I said, they want you to have some of this, some of this learning lessons of your own. Okay, the next thing they want to talk about, so trust what you get, trust what you get, trust what you get. That's the biggest thing. Go from your heart. Always make your decisions from your heart. Try to move your decision-making process from here to here. I think if we all made decisions from our heart, the world would be a lot better place, right? Be more present in here, okay? Compassion, forgiveness of ourselves, compassion for ourselves. If you can just start treating yourself better, you'll have a better connection to your guides, because your guides cannot talk to you. Here's another thing. If you're always saying bad things about yourself, your guides cannot connect to you in that vibration. That's not them. They're not going to say bad things about you. So if you're saying bad things about you, that doesn't match their vibration. So the first thing you have to do is really improve how you treat yourself, right? Because they're all about love. They're all about love. And if they come to you with love and you don't believe you're lovable, if you don't believe that you're a good person, if you don't believe you deserve that love, then you're not going to get that message. Do you understand? That should be pretty clear, right? If you don't believe you deserve good things, if you don't believe that you deserve love, then you're not going to believe you deserve these guides, these spirit guides. So we have to work on this. We have to bring this up. Once you ask the question, try and let it go. If you ask the question and you get an answer and you don't like the answer, or you're not sure about the answer, instead of continuing to ask the question, you have to let it go. If you're asking for help, do that and let it go. If you ask for help, it's almost like, hey, I need help with this. Can you carry this, right? And they say, sure, I'll carry this. And then you go, no, maybe you can't carry it, and you get it back. It's a tug of war of energy. That's not going to work either. They're not going to do that with you. They're not. They're not going to go back and forth with you. That means you're not ready. Okay? So if you ask for help, and then know that it's divinely guided and they're going to help you. And just know that. Okay? If you ask for guidance and you get guidance and you're like me at the red light and I don't want to listen to it, then fine, go do what you're going to do. And you find out that they gave you guidance and you didn't follow it, then just say, thank you for the guidance. I'm going to now try harder to follow your guidance, right? Let them know I'm going to try harder. I'm going to work with you more. I'm willing, I'm able to work with you more, right? So that's what they want to hear. They just want that. They want someone to meet them halfway. They want you to do your part. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. I keep trying to make these smaller and they're longer. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it, everybody. Please subscribe. Really trying to grow the channel, so I appreciate that very much. Like the video if you can. Share it with your friends and family that may find it helpful. I appreciate that. And please stick around. I've got some really, really good videos planned. Thank you for joining me. I am grateful for you. Take care, everybody.